Hi everyone, I'm Pooja from CSE department. Today I'm going to be talking about the functions of lex and yak and the program using lex and yak. So here is our content, the functions in lex, functions in yak, and finally the lex with yak program. Functions in lex. So there are few functions in lex which are yylex, y wrap and yyLess, yyMore function. So the first function yylex, it is the function that starts the analysis. It is automatically generated by lex. And yyWrap, this function is called when end of file. When we have to end the file, then this function is called. If this function returns L, the parsing stops. And if it doesn't return L, the parsing continues. So this can be used to parse multiple files. So code can be written in the third section, which will allow multiple files to be parsed. The strategy is to make in file pointer. So at the end, ywrap function can return L to indicate end of the parsing. yyLess int n. This function can be used to push back all but first n characters of the read token. It means that it'll push back the first n characters read by the token. And yyMore function. This function tells the lexer to append the next token to the current token. See, this function is used to add two tokens, like uh, it is used to add two tokens, that is the next token plus the current token. Functions in yak. So yak stands for yet another compiler compiles. It is a tool used in the generation of passes in the sense syntax analysis for programming languages. So here are few functions, that is token, left, right, non-association, and type function, and delimiters, and end of file functions. So first we are going to learn about tokens. So this function declares terminal symbols used in the grammar. Terminal symbols represent the basic building blocks. They are the basic building blocks of the language which is being passed, such as we can say keywords, operators, identifiers, or even literals. So it is used to define these symbols and assign them unique integer values. It will assign them a unique integer values. So next is left, right, and non-association function. So functions specify the associativity and precedence of operators in the grammar. Left denotes left associative operators and right denotes right associative operators, and non-assoc denotes non-associative operators. Precedence levels can be assigned using integer values. Type function. This function declares the data type. It says which data type we are using in our grammar. So non-terminal symbol represent the different language constructs and are composed of one or more terminals or non-terminal symbols, and it is used to specify the data type of the result produced by each terminal. It also specifies the data type of the result which we obtain, and this is the delimiter that separates the grammar specification from the code section. The grammar rules and actions are defined above the delimiters. See, the grammar section is defined above delimiters, and the code section is defined below the delimiters. So EOF, this is also known as end of file. This token represents the end of input. It means that you cannot give input if we enter this command, this function. So it is typically used to specify the action to be performed. It specifies the action to be performed when the input has been completely passed. So finally we have come to Lex with Yak program. First of all, we'll create a file called square.l. You can give any name, but I'm giving square here. And .l represents it is a Lex program. And these are delimiters which has two percentage sign. So these are delimiters, and about delimiters we are defining the definition section. This is the definition section, and this is the rule section, and this is the code section. So definition section represents the library we are going to use in the program, and 0 to 9 in the sense you can use any number from 0 to 9, and here plus indicates that you have to use at least one number. From 0 to 9 you cannot give empty input, so it returns a number. If you give any number, it returns a number. And yes, slash n represents that it returns the end of line. You can go to next line. And dot indicates that YY text. And this is the code section. It returns L. And second step, we are going to create another file called square.y. You can give any name. I am using square, and .y represents it's a Yak file. And as I said, this is the definition section, and this is the rule section, and this is the code section. So definition section, it defines the code, and here percentage, this percentage symbol with token, it says that this function declares a terminal symbol, and this is used in grammar. Here we are using number and end of line in our grammar, so we represent it as tokens. And here is a program. Program statement is end of line, and statement here expression, we are going to give a expression, that is print f. We are going to print the result, that is we are going to use this percentage d, that is integer type result. We are going to get the integer type result. If we want the float type or any other data type of result, we can use, for floating type we can use a percentage f. Here we are going to get integer as a result, so we are going to represent it as percentage d. And slash n represents that we are the result is going to print in the next line. Here dollar $L and dollar $L, the return type which we got in Lex, we are going to multiply that, and we are going to multiply that so we can get the square of a number. And y parse, so this is the function which is the entry point for passing in Yak. This is the entry point for passing in Yak. And finally, we are going to return 0 if there is no error in our code. And the third step is we are going to open a terminal and navigate to the directory where you saved the file, and we are going to run the following commands to compile and run the program. So we are going to use lex, that is square.l. For Yak we are going to use Yak space minus d square dot y, and these are the commands which we are going to use to run our program. And finally this dot slash square is used to get the output. So once the program is running, you can enter a number and press entry. The program will square the number and display the result. If we enter 5, we are going to get the result as 25, and if you enter 6, you are going to get 36, and so on. But you cannot enter the floating point numbers such as 5.2 or 1. So if you're going to use, you have to make the changes in the program, that you have to change the data type there. This program is for integer type of result. And thank you.